Take two. I forgot to record the first review, so that's okay. Here I am. Hello, everybody. It's been a little bit since we've used the second channel. Probably too long, but that's okay. I've watched a lot of stuff, and I certainly have a lot of stuff to review, so let's get into it. So, I saw the Until Dawn movie, and I do not like it whatsoever. I played the game. I liked the game. I played it on PS4. I didn't play the PC version. Maybe the PC version hints at this movie or has something at all to do with it. But God, I could not tell you. I could not tell you in the slightest if they had anything related. But that's okay. There's a lot the movie has to offer in terms of vaguely relating to the source material. And I mean it when I say vaguely relating to the source material. I mean like, we're really taking stretches to have any sort of relation to the source material whatsoever. The psychologist from the game is in the movie. I don't really know why, because he wasn't like... I don't want to call him a supernatural force, but that's kind of how the movie portrays him as. I wouldn't call him that in the game whatsoever. There's Wendigos in the movie in a totally different role. 100% different. Nothing in relation to each other. And the movie is about this girl and her friends go after her sister to try to, like, rescue her. And basically, they get caught in, like, a time loop where if all of them get killed, the day resets, and they only have so many days to escape before everybody dies. You know, like, for good. Like, they're just dead permanently. And what I think is really interesting about it is the fact that, man, you can tell they, like, read some sort of synopsis on Until Dawn. You can tell it is a group of people who went to the trouble of reading a description of Until Dawn and, like, skipped to random parts of a YouTube Let's Play. You can tell they have, like, some baseline knowledge. Like, even just a little. And that's good. That's good. I appreciate it not being like a total cash grab. It's just instead like 95% a cash grab. So that's fun to see. And God, the movie is my favorite thing about it. The highest praise I can give the movie is that it goes by fast. It doesn't feel like I wasted that much time. It goes by pretty quick, so I don't have to worry about it. Now, I don't know if that's like a good thing, but you know, I really got the impression that this movie went by fast, which is good because I did not enjoy any part of it. Now, I've made the mistake of checking out a lot of YouTube discourse on the movie, and I really think I do a good job of avoiding going out of my way to see stuff that will just like upset me or annoy me or irritate me, but I couldn't resist because I was so curious what other people had to say about the movie. And a lot of people say it's a bad Until Dawn movie, but it's a good movie. And to that, I vehemently disagree. I think that is... I would love to watch the version of the movie they were watching, I will say that. The major problem I have with it is basically the idea of the movie is they just spend all these collective nights surviving or trying to survive, and if one person dies, then they reset, and the goal is they learn more about the threats that can happen each night as things progress. Now, what's interesting to me is the fact that they don't actually show this in the movie. They decide to they show you like the first 3 nights, and God, those nights are not interesting. There's one where the fake killer, the not real killer from Until Dawn shows up. Why? I don't know, because he was pretty pivotal to the actual story of Until Dawn. My guess is they just made the costume and thought they could get some people with it. The second night, I think they meet like some witch or crone or hag. I don't know. One of them. I don't know the right word. And that was the third night. They drink water and it makes them explode, which is also like, I don't know, neat. And then they skip over every single other night until the final one. They just completely skip all of them. And you watch like a TikTok compilation that's like a minute long, showing you all the other knights. And those knights look like a lot more fun than anything else in the movie. So, man, that really sucks. I was really hoping we'd get to see all the knights. Now, in terms of, I guess I should talk about some other stuff with the movie. I think the acting across the board isn't very good. I blame the direction. I will never encourage anyone to go after an actor for being in a bad movie, right? But I really think the direction of the acting is just terrible. There's a few plot lines that I think are like actually kind of offensive, but I can't really go into that without spoiling the entire movie. But that's okay. There's a few things that I thought had the potential to be neat. Mainly the knights. They have like a couple monster designs that are cool. There's that guy who made that Akamanto video game. One of the monster designs kind of looked like that guy. I was kind of excited to see that one. That one was in the TikTok compilation, so you don't actually see it in the movie. That's kind of it. That was probably the only thing I was excited about. Now, what I don't really get is that Until Dawn is already practically a movie in and of itself. It takes forever to play through. There's a ton of, like, cinema-esque stuff, you know, stuff that feels like it's made for movies or TV, so they won't even have to invent anything. And they decided to take that, and they decided to go in a different direction, which is, while the original Until Dawn was a great horror and mystery, they decided to make this movie version none of those. And, like, I don't know, something awful. Something, like, beyond terrible. Now, granted, my highest praise, I cannot emphasize this enough, is the movie is very short. It really goes by quick. Maybe it was secretly really well paced, and I just didn't give it credit for that. But there's just something so remarkable about that movie, and the fact that it ended really quick, which to me was good, because I was having an awful time with it. And I honestly would rate it higher if it wasn't like Until Dawn. If it didn't have anything to do with Until Dawn, it would be way higher. You can see my Letterboxd linked on my Twitch. If I remember, I'll put it in the description, but I probably won't. It's just so amazing to me how easily digestible this film is, with like a very complete story, and yet there's like nothing about it I can enjoy. I don't even remember the names of the main characters. I don't even remember a lot of stuff from that movie. I genuinely think that movie is like awful. I could not sit through it again. There's just no way. There's just zero chance. But in contrast to so many people thinking that it's a good movie, it's just not a good Until Dawn movie, I say, what is your expectation of a good film, genuinely? Because it's not scary. It's not scary at all. There's like, if you're into gore, there's like no gore. Granted, maybe I'm misremembering. There's like a couple scenes where like somebody gets like beat to death, but it's, I don't know, you can kind of tell it's fake. And granted, I don't think the highlight of your movie should be that it looked like somebody really got beat to death, you know? I don't know. I don't think the cast has very good chemistry. Maybe that's also me. Once again, I don't mean to like diss the actors. Of course, I'll always blame like the direction of the film before anything else. But I don't know. To me, they really like didn't seem believable as friends or like clicking at all. I thought the effects weren't great. I didn't think they were that bad or anything. That's kind of it, actually. The sad thing is, because this movie goes by so quick, I don't really have a lot of stuff to really rail into. So yeah, they completely abandoned the story that was made in Until Dawn and replace it with an inferior one. So what? Well, the parts they rip from the main story aren't done well. I may have mentioned this already, but they have the Wendigos in there. I don't really remember why they're even in the movie, and I didn't even see it that long ago, so I guess that's a testament to their role. I think it's neat they got the psychologist from the game. I don't know why he's in the movie. He really adds nothing to it. But, you know, he's there. It took place in a mining town. where like the town is underground, if I remember correctly. I don't remember why. I genuinely don't even remember most of the stuff that happened in the movie, and that's kind of the problem. There's like nothing memorable. The most memorable part of the movie to me is the time skip when they say, I guess we're gonna have to survive all the nights here. And then they skip like 8 of the nights. So then they just immediately skip to the end. I don't know how they came up with that. I really genuinely would implore you to watch a different movie. And if you like it, that's awesome. I'm jealous because you very clearly have something that I don't, which may be the spirit of Until Dawn, but I really would not recommend that movie. I feel like everybody who goes in and watches it is way too lenient with it, and I vehemently disagree with that. Like, even if it didn't have Until Dawn attached to the name, I'd still hate it. And yeah, I get it. I'm like real picky about everything I enjoy. You know, I get like that's just a me thing, but God, man, I don't know. I just think there's so little to enjoy with this film. I cannot emphasize it enough that the main highlight is just that it ends quickly. But that's really all I have. It ends quickly. There's like a few nods to the game here and there. Loosely. Very loose nods to the game. You wouldn't be able to pick that up at all whatsoever. But you know, it's nice that they have any nods, I guess, and it's short. It's really short, so that's nice. But you know, if it wasn't Until Dawn, I would definitely rate it higher, but it wouldn't be that much higher because I do think the main perk of the movie is that it's short, and I think the only possible fun part of the movie where they say the knight will like throw random things at them to keep them guessing isn't in the movie. That really irks me, but I don't know. That's it. That is a review of Until Dawn. I really wanted to talk about this. I don't normally care about like criticism on movies on YouTube, right? Like, I don't particularly care about people who make like reviews of movies on YouTube, and it's just like something I disagree with. But I really can't emphasize this enough. It is not a good movie if you are like even if you're not an Until Dawn fan, right? And you go in completely blind, it is still not a good movie. It is terrible. It is awful. I'm not trying to like enter a debate or start drama or anything. I just want people to be informed because I've seen so many reviews of people talking about this movie and they completely like, oh my god, they shill it like it's the best movie ever. It just tarnished by the Until Dawn branding. I just don't get it. I really don't. So if you enjoy it, power to you, man. You stick with that. But if you haven't seen it, please don't. I implore you, please, for the love of God, do not. But that's all I really have. So later, I don't know. But that movie's awful. Do not watch it at all. Please, under any circumstance, do not.